All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me here at Life Coach University and our PIF Talks, where all that we ask is if you feel so inspired to pay the kindness forward by going out into the world and doing something nice for someone else. And then if you want, share that story with us by emailing us at hello@lifecoachuniversity.com. I am Chris Weals. And today is day 2 of relationship recovery. Thoughts become things. That's right. We're focusing on self-awareness this first week. And the first thing that I want you all to be aware of is that your thoughts, and really it's your thoughts that become beliefs, are what are shaping your reality. So your beliefs about yourself, relationships in general, your specific relationship, your thoughts about your partner, all of these beliefs that you have, which most of them probably stem from your experiences as a child. Some of them you've developed as an adult. Well, whichever beliefs you're hanging on to about, again, yourself, your relationships in general, your partner, all of these contribute to the experiences or the reality that you're having in your relationship. And this might be a new concept to some of you. If it is, then I'm going to explain that a little bit, how it works. If it's not, please bear with me. I hope this is helpful for you as well. So the way that thoughts contribute to our experience and to our reality is like this. So we have in our life, our events, our situations or circumstances that are happening all around us in our life. And we're not necessarily in control of those. We're not necessarily creating these things that are happening, what other people are doing, what other people are saying, catastrophes, acts of God, things like this. These things happen. This is life, right? But then we have thoughts and beliefs about these things in our life. And those beliefs that we have generate our emotions or our feelings. And then from there, our emotions heavily influence the words that we speak out loud, and then the actions that we either take or don't take. And they influence, even just our emotions, and influence the actions of others. So others like our partner, our wife, our husband. So then when we have these thoughts and now we have feelings based on these thoughts, so we're either feeling good or bad, and that's a very simplified way of describing feelings. But based on the thoughts that we're having, or the belief, it's really the beliefs that we're holding, because we have tens of thousands of thoughts every day. And so it's not necessarily every single thought has this creative power. It's the thoughts that become patterns and are beliefs that we hold to be true. And so ultimately, the emotions and the beliefs that we have really heavily influence. I said that they influence our actions, and then our actions are what create our results. So what we're doing or not doing, consciously or not consciously, it's creating the results that we're seeing in our lives. So how healthy our relationship is, how much joy there is in our relationship, how successful we are financially in our careers, the relationships we have with our family members and our friends, and everything that we have, the results that we're getting as adults stem directly from basically the actions that we're taking, which stem from our emotions, which stem from our beliefs about life and about ourselves. And of course, the actions that we take also heavily influence the actions of others. And so when we're influencing the actions of others with our emotions and with our own words and actions, then the actions that other people are taking are also either hurting or helping us create our results. But it's their actions depend on our influence. So here's an example. This is based on a question that I had yesterday about what if your wife spends money without telling you? So say that happens, right? Your partner spends a good solid chunk of money without telling you. Okay, so that's the event that happened. Now you find out about it, and that's the thing that upsets you, right? Is that your spouse spent all this money. Well, you might think that, and I get it if you think it, because that's how that's what I believed also, is that, well, it's their action, it's their words, it's what they did that make me feel so upset. But the reality is, there's something that happens between their action and you being upset about it. You have beliefs about that. So you might have thoughts about your significant other spending all of that money, that, okay, they're irresponsible and disrespectful by spending all of that money and not telling me. They can't be trusted. They're going to make us poor. We're not going to be able to pay our bills and retire like we want because they're so irresponsible with money. So you may or may not even be aware of these thoughts that you're having, but you are having thoughts. And maybe you're not having these negative thoughts, but in this example, we're talking about having these types of negative thoughts. And so when you have thoughts like that, like, I can't trust my partner, or they're irresponsible, or they're going to make us poor, those thoughts those are beliefs that you hold, have an effect on how you feel. They impact your emotions. And so having those types of thoughts are probably going to make you feel angry, frustrated, disappointed, fearful, right? I mean, it just makes sense to have those thoughts followed by those feelings. And when you feel that way and you have those thoughts, what do you think you're going to do? You're probably going to yell at your partner. You're going to express your anger and your frustration and mistrust. You're going to, maybe because you can't trust them, you're going to separate your bank accounts, and that way they can't access that money. Or maybe you're going to leave them because they can't be trusted, right? And so then the results that you get are either you're fighting with your partner, or you're breaking some of the bond that you have, some of the trust and or some of the connection. So now you're feeling more disconnected, or you leave them, and maybe that isn't really what you actually wanted. And now, that might affect your finances even more, or that you might regret making that decision out of anger in the moment. And so what if you had different thoughts? What if you chose different thoughts intentionally about that situation? What if you had thoughts instead that were maybe more inquisitive? Like, I wonder why they did that. Why would they spend that money? Did I do something to contribute to that behavior? Are they okay? Is there something going on that I need to know about? Like, should I be concerned about their well-being? And if you had thoughts more along those lines, how would you feel then? Right? You would probably feel more compassionate or curious. Maybe you would feel a little bit more open to having a calm conversation with them, and you would want to resolve things with them as their partner. And then what you do, you have that calm conversation. You create a safe space for them to be open and honest with you, because you're not yelling at them and putting them on the defensive. And so you can find out what's going on with this person. And chances are they had a valid reason. Maybe there was an investment they wanted to make in some training or something, that they just didn't feel like they could trust you enough to be open to that. And it was that important to them that they went behind your back. And I'm not condoning the behavior, but I'm just saying, if you approach it like this, more curiously and compassionately, you might find out that there was some reason for that. And then you can have this open, honest conversation and come to a resolution together instead of fighting, putting them down, making them feel small and attacked and then defensive, and then you're not going to resolve this. So you can either be on the same side with them or against them, and then what are the results that you're going to get? So you have to think about the results that you want to have, right? And then think and feel and behave accordingly, right? And it might not still go the way you want to. Maybe ultimately the reason they spent that money, it's not justifiable in your mind. You can't work with that. Okay, then you have to go down this path. But if you're doing that from a clear mind and having intentional thoughts that are generating more loving, calm feelings, then you can take action that it comes from that place instead of that fear generated or ego or anger generated action. You're less likely to regret the actions that you take and the results that you get, the direction that you go. I hope that makes a lot of sense for you. If you have any questions on that, please feel free to ask those questions. But I just want to let you know, the situation didn't change, right? The situation, the event, the circumstance is still the same. Your spouse spent all this money, but your response is different. And your response is different because you chose different thoughts. You chose a different way of thinking, different beliefs about what might have caused that. And then you wind up taking different action. You have a different approach that leads probably to different results, more favorable results. So for this, since this is about awareness, we're not necessarily taking steps right now yet to make massive changes, but we will get there. Right now, what I really would like for you to do is just start to bring some non-judgmental awareness to your day and start paying attention to your thoughts. Just start noticing them for now. What are the thoughts or the beliefs that you hold about who you are in relation to your spouse, or it's just in general? What are the thoughts, the beliefs that you hold about yourself? What are the beliefs that you have about your partner? What are the beliefs that you have about relationships in general? What are the beliefs you have about your relationship? Start writing these things down. Maybe you can start journaling on a daily basis, spend a few minutes a day, and then just start thinking about how those beliefs might be affecting your relationship. Because whether you have been aware of it or not, those beliefs absolutely are affecting your relationship. So it doesn't look like there are any questions. If there are any, please feel free to drop those in the chat now. And okay, no questions. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you found that to be incredibly helpful. We'll continue on tomorrow with self-awareness, and then we'll move into self-management, and then go into relationship awareness and relationship management. So thank you very much. Again, I'm Chris Weals. This was day 2 of relationship recovery, thoughts become things. And thank you for joining me at Life Coach University and all of our PIF Talks. Please be sure to go to lifecoachuniversity.com, where you can see the full schedule of all the upcoming conferences and other pay it forward talks with all the other amazing coaches that are part of Life Coach University. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.